Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk to Sports sports show. And we apologize. I apologize um, for the show being so late, close up to the games, and we like to let the networks get their preview shows in. But I know that there's a bunch of people that have told me and Dwayne personally that they watched the show, and we just ask that when you do watch the show, just like and share your opinion because we don't know who's watching. We don't really do it for the numbers. We do appreciate the numbers. However, we do it because this is what we usually do on the phone. And we've taken our phone conversations and basically have added it to what we do. So, good morning, brother.
Good morning, and good morning to everyone. I
Oh,
got the NFL hat on. It's a little small because of the fro I've grown, but I don't want to be biased this morning, so I don't want to flag. I don't want to wear the colors, so I went with the neutral NFL logo. It's a little old hat, so forgive that logo right there. Okay, it's a Redskins logo. The hat's a little old, but I'm ready. Look, I got the special shirt on. Sorry, can't. Football, bye. That means if you're calling me today, sorry, I can't. Football, bye. This is like Christmas, okay? So I've had all the, how when you were a kid, right? And you after Thanksgiving, when we was kids, we're gonna date ourselves a little bit. You look for that commercial with Jeffrey the giraffe, and it had the song, "Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year." Well, I've had that, okay? Just to give y'all a little insight into the little guy, okay? 2 weeks ago, I was at the Battle of the Beach, okay? I saw 8 live games there. That next Sunday, I met my gentleman right here, me and a couple of my friends. We saw 6 live games, okay? Last week, I was in Ohio with Trinity Episcopal, saw a live game there, okay? I've been watching a lot of football, but ain't nothing like that league where they pay for play. So we're here. The season's here. This is Christmas and every other holiday wrapped into one.
we're
So
gonna do
use the
we're gonna
crooked.
do our preview show first, real quick, and we're gonna do picks within the process. We're not even gonna do a lot of talking, you guys,
No,
because of the time, and then we'll do a post. We'll probably do a post game show. I don't know if it'll be tonight or
maybe
tomorrow,
before kickoff.
but we'll try something. I don't know. I can't
Maybe,
guarantee nothing.
maybe, but
Uh,
we back, baby.
one
We back.
o'clock games. One
And we're
o'clock
gonna get
games.
right
Let's go.
into it. Houston. Hey, it's like preseason. A lot of these players gonna make a little mistakes because they ain't playing the preseason. We ain't do no preseason show, so it may be a couple of flubs there. So it ain't Tennessee. It's the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are a 9.5-point favorite in this one today. 1 o'clock. CJ Stroud making his pro debut against Lamar Jackson. Now, y'all know, anybody that knows, it's another young man making his pro debut today. And I'm so into this kid. I've been telling y'all since draft, Will Anderson Jr. will get 2 sacks today on Lamar Jackson. 2. But the Ravens will cover. Ravens will cover. Zay Flowers scores twice today. Another one.
Dwayne has the Ravens covering. I don't have the Ravens covering, but I have the Ravens winning. I have um the rookie of the year on offense and defense this year in this game.
Oh,
Zay, like he said, Zay will put on a show today
yes, he
and put
will.
the DBs on notice, and will
I don't gotta watch,
and,
but they're on the clock.
and Willie Anderson Jr. will put the league on notice that he is on his way to being a name in the next few years of a premier pass rush in the league.
Right.
So we're gonna get that right out the bat. I'm gonna say Houston keeps it close only because of D'Amico Ryans being a decent D coordinator for a few years, and now he's back home. So I think the Ravens win. I think the Ravens going to be interesting because we're going to see a different Lamar Jackson as
Yes.
far as pocket wise now.
Yes. Okay. Next up, 1 o'clock. The Cincinnati Bengals travel to Cleveland. I was in the land last week. I was in the land to face the Browns. Joe Barrow's going to show you all why he got that contract extension he got, $275 million. Okay? The Bengals are a 1-point favorite. Are you kidding me? 1 point? Take the Bengals, man. Give up the points. Are you serious? 1 point? I mean, I love Deshaun Watson. 1 point?
Well, the funniest thing is Dwayne. We love to disagree because this is what we do. We talk football. I'm taking Cleveland, and the reason why I'm taking Cleveland because I think this rivalry is family. This is a family rivalry, a Paul Brown rivalry. If you know the history of Paul Brown and the Brown family, and it sounds crazy, but I think that this division could literally that whoever finishes first. I have an argument that they could finish last in the division. This division will be a bloodbath. Nobody has Cleveland, and I think that Deshaun will finally fit in properly. I think that this game, I think Joe Burrow having his calf strain was bigger than people want to let on. So I think he might be a little rusty. And they got a new offensive line. They got Zeus. Zeus's son is there. So I think they might have to work out some kinks. So I want to say take the Browns only because it's a 1-point spread. It's a pick'em game, which is interesting. They usually give that home team 3 points. So I'm going to take the Browns in this game as an upset.
Well, there you go. I'm not. All right. Tampa Bay travels to Minnesota. Baker Mayfield in his Tampa Bay starting debut against cousin Kirk Cousins, and those Vikings. Vikings got a whole new situation going on, right? No Dalvin Cook. So we're going to see what's going on there. I do like the addition of Jordan Addison with Justin Jefferson. I like that addition. I think you'll see who he is. I know he was speeding and all that. Come on, man. These guys is young. I'm not making excuses. Probably first time having a fast car, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing with it. But that's a story for another day. I like the Vikings giving the 4. I like the Vikings by 2 touchdowns today.
Everybody's loving the Vikings, and rightfully so. It's just amazing how even when you go back to Stephon Diggs and Thielen, the Vikings have always had this offense that is very, very good, and they haven't just been able to translate it to the defense and have a complete team. Knowing they've had these coaching changes in the last few years, but I think this is the perfect team for the Vikings to start off their season with. Tampa Bay, unfortunately, for the coaches down there who we believe are good coaches, for some of the guys on their team, the dark days are upon us in Tampa Bay for the Buccaneers. They might be a team that might be in Caleb Williams' contention very quickly.
They're the Buccaneers again.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans going to New Orleans to face the Saints, the Derek Carr-led Saints. The Saints is given 3.5. I'm going with Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. I want you guys to hear me, and I want you guys to hear me very well when I say this. The Saints are an extremely talented football team. They should probably win the NFC South. Their coach is horrible. He was horrible in Denver. He's going to prove him to be horrible in New Orleans. I don't know why he's
You mean Oakland,
wherever the hell he was. See, I don't even remember where he was. That's how insignificant he is. Listen, he can't coach. Couldn't coach the Raiders. Now the Las Vegas Raiders. He couldn't coach them. He had Derek Carr there. I don't think he's a good coach. And I think it's going to be a very disappointing team for season for a very talented team. But I'm going to take the 3. And I'm going to take Tennessee. I actually like Tennessee outright today.
You know what's funny that you said that? I personally believe that Dennis Allen is on the hottest seat in the NFL. I don't think he could coach as well. I think the defensive coordinator should have been the head coach. The offensive coordinator should have been the head coach after Sean Payton. They've had a good defense, and then it just gets leaky. The Saints are loaded with talent. If you really, really look at their roster, you guys, the Saints probably have a top 7, top 8 team in the NFL as far as talent, but they're going to get picked off, and it could get early, and I don't want to make season predictions, but the Saints are a tricky team. Like Dwayne said, the Saints could easily be an 11-6 team and win that division, or they could be a team that just bottoms out. And what'll happen is the coach will get blamed and then Derek Carr. But they're a very talented team. But I'm gonna pick the Tennessee Titans just to pick them up. I think Tennessee shows up today.
Yeah, I like it. All right, next 1 o'clock game. Carolina Panthers go to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Bryce Young getting his first NFL start. B. John Robinson, another big rookie for the Falcons. The Falcons are a 3.5-point favorite. I like the way Arthur Smith coaches football, folks. And the Falcons are my sleeper team this year. I always try to find a sleeper team. I think because of the way that Arthur Smith coaches football and the way that the Falcons can potentially play defense, now they got this bona fide star at running back. Desmond Ritter will not do anything to lose a game. He showed that as a rookie last year. He didn't turn the ball over a lot as a rookie last year in his starts. And I think that big run starts today. I like the Falcons giving 3.5.
Well, the funniest thing about this game, bro, is the core of football. Most people, analytics say you got to throw the football all over the field to do this and that. This, if you look at this game, look at these coaches, with Frank Wright being first year in Carolina, Arthur Smith and what they like to do down in Atlanta, we are going to see the running game. This is going to be a football game where you're going to see a battle in the trenches. I think that this game, if a person don't like a lot of scoring, this is the game that they should circle and watch because you're going to see a bloodbath in the trenches. And I would love to see how Atlanta fail. Atlanta has a very, very tricky roster because with the running back and the tight end and this young quarterback, Redmond, they got it. Not Redmond. What's his name again? Desmond, right?
Desmond
Yeah,
Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. I keep saying Redmond because of the old quarterback they had. They have a very interesting situation. The Panthers, I think the Burns situation, the contract, I think that's going to hurt the locker room. Burns has been there and has been going through the transition. They Frank Wright, literally, it's weird that he did it, but he has turned over the roster from all these guys that Matt Rule had drafted. Matt Rule, I don't think had a problem with the players. I just think it just wasn't a good fit. Far as one thing about coaches, and I'll hurry up and say that I'm a one Atlanta to win. One thing I learned about coaches is quarterback is the number one person you have to get when you go to a team. So that's the only problem I had with Matt Rule. I think he overassessed the quarterback situation. But I'm gonna pick Atlanta to win this game.
Okay, so next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Indianapolis Colts. The Jaguars is given 3.5. Sunshine himself is starting quarterback. Anthony Richardson. Listen, I love to see young people, right? I do. I love to see young people. Anthony Richardson has all the tools in the world. But he did not fulfill those tools at the University of Florida. He just didn't. You got to watch college football before you can watch pro football. So I'm one of these people that is looking at Anthony Richardson going in the top 5, and I'm like, we sure? Are we sure? I wish the young man well. I think he turns the ball over like Apple turnover today, and that's going to be his name for today, his nickname, Anthony Apple Turnover Richardson. I like the Jaguars big today. I'm looking at 28-3 type of big. I'm all over the Jaguars today over the Colts.
Well, what's funny is the Colts are going to speak to a bigger narrative that me and you discussed about a week ago. We think that Chris Ballard has lost his way as a very good GM. Anthony Richardson, I never like to say this about any player. It is literally, folks, boom or bust with Anthony Richardson. If you look at him physically, it's scary what he has physically, but he just hasn't played enough football, and he doesn't have the right, to me, infrastructure around him. I do think the new coach that is the coach of used to be the coach of the Eagles of that offense, I think he's going to settle him down and be able to well. But unfortunately, Jacksonville's coming, and Dwayne and myself are diehard Cowboy fans, and we both like to admit stuff that people may find interesting about us being Cowboy fans. We both love Doug Peterson.
I'm a big Dougie P fan, man. I'm glad
And
his ass ain't in Philly
I,
anymore.
I will say this for those of you that
Got to have Sirianni.
for those of you that do the gambling thing, bet the house on the Jaguars
Yeah,
today.
today.
But just take out the double. Just put the
Listen,
house on them. And I know that these two teams have played each other close the last couple times. This game, bet the house on Jacksonville. I think Calvin Ridley goes off. See the thing about Calvin Ridley, and I hope we're going to do a bigger show soon. The thing about Calvin Ridley, what people don't understand, the gambling and all that stuff, and the NFL did do him dirty. Calvin Ridley is one of the top 7 or 8 guys in the league as far as from the receiver position. And I think in Atlanta, people didn't notice him because they started losing. They're going to show out and show up today. Jacksonville going to beat them by at least 20.
listen, we like to have fun. We like to talk football. We love it. Fantasy football, the gambling aspect of it. But on a serious note, if you have a problem, have a gambling addiction, there's help out there for you. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Seriously, don't lose your whole life over gambling. Please don't. Please. All right. Arizona Cardinals come to the nation's capital to take on those Washington Commanders, and they won't be Commanders long. That's my bold prediction. They'll have a new nickname next year. The Commanders are 7-point favorites. Josh Dobbs is starting for the Cardinals. Enough said. Commanders by at least 2 touchdowns.
I just hope nobody who is a fan of the Cardinals decides to leave their team this year. They might win one game. And this ain't it.
And the big 1 p.m. matchup, at least it's big to me. You got the San Francisco 49ers led by Mr. Irrelevant himself, Brock Purdy, going into the Steel City to take on head coach Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett, J.J. Watt, and those Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the 2 points, and I'm going with the Steelers. The Steelers start to pull the cover and expose Mr. Irrelevant for what he is, irrelevant. Okay, and I know my team lost to him in the playoffs. I am not a Brock Purdy believer. I think the 49ers gave up too quick on Trey Lance. And I think today the Steelers win at home. Give me the 2, and I'll take the Steelers.
This is what I would consider about both of these teams. What I'm saying today does not may not feel how I feel about these teams towards the end of the year. The 49ers usually traditionally struggle in the beginning of the year until they get all their bearings together. It's funny, the 49ers usually struggle until they start getting all the injuries, and then they start playing better once the injury guys start coming back. This is a game where the Steelers should roll. It's not about – most people will say it's about the Steelers' offense because they do got a lot of young talent, but their defense would be good. Watt is back. I think the Steelers need to get off to a good start. Like I said, that division is very scary. We know that coaches never started. No coaches never had a losing season. So I look for the Steelers to give 49ers all the problems that they can handle.
Okay. So then we move to the 4 o'clock action. And you have the Las Vegas Raiders going to Denver in the home debut of the new coach, Sean Payton. It's been a kind of controversial hiring because some of the things he said. You got the Raiders, Josh McDaniels, who I still think is one of the most overrated football coaches in the history of the NFL. Yes, I just don't think he's that good. He's going up against a team that he once was the head coach for. Can Russ cook? Will Sean Payton allow Russ to cook? I don't know. Who's starting for the Raiders at quarterback? I don't know. So I'll take Denver, giving up the 3 just because I don't know. Is it Stidham starting for the Raiders? Somebody tell me. I don't even know who's starting for the Raiders. Now they got rid of Derek Carr. So, Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what someone just texted me. Porn star Jimmy. Let's see if he gets through a whole game. I like the Broncos today, giving up
The only unit, and Sean's gonna.
one star in
I,
unit.
I wish Sean starts. I mean, I wish Sean all the best. Sean Payton guy. But the only unit that I trust in this whole game is Denver's defense. I don't trust Russell Wilson. I think the wheels have fell off of Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson, the worst thing he ever did is leave a coach that knew how to coach him. I think he's gonna rub Sean the wrong way. And Sean don't have the patience for it. They gave Sean a lot of money. They gave Russell a lot of money, so it's going to be interesting going forward. But the only thing I do trust is Denver's defense. I trust their secondary. I trust their defense, and they should win an ugly game.
Okay. It's a big game here, man. It's a game that I'm looking forward to watching. Miami Dolphins travel to SoFi to go up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert. They got the boy, what they call him, Boy Wonder. Is that what Rex Ryan was calling Kellen Moore? I hope you enjoy him, Chargers. I hope you enjoy him. I'm going with the road dog. I'm taking the Dolphins. Give me the 3, and I'm going with Tua and the Dolphins to beat the Chargers today.
I think this is an interesting game. I know how I personally feel about Boy Wonder because he used to coach the team that we root for. But for some reason, I think he's going to do well with this quarterback. And the reason why I say it is because this quarterback is a lot different than Dak. And what I think he didn't utilize with Dak is what I think that he will be Herbert's strength. I'm a little worried about Miami's defense with not having Jalen Ramsey. And I know Xavier Howard is there. But I'm a little worried. The Chargers are an interesting team. They paid money. They paid a lot of money for that's the spread.
No, timeout. Can I get a TL?
Go ahead.
I know you said you worried about who, Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah.
Man, what you talking about?
With Miami. He's not playing.
I understand. But what we talking about? The Dolphins got number 9. Kelvin Bossman Fat Joseph.
That was a red flag timeout you just
They're
used.
fine. They're fine. You don't have to review it.
Yeah.
They got Bossman Fat.
What Dwayne just threw a wrench in the game for y'all that don't know. Bossman Fat got traded to Miami from Dallas, but I'm gonna pick the Chargers. Dwayne, JC's back.
Let's go.
I loved it. I like the Chargers secondary.
Somebody in the comments said what? The Chargers in the over?
Yeah, somebody said the Chargers. I think the Chargers is going to be an interesting team. The Chargers, let's be straight here. If you look at their talent, the way they always have drafted, the Chargers are always been, and you know, one of the problems, if the Chargers lose, I'll just say this. I'm picking the Chargers, but I'm going to hedge my pick. If they lose, it'll be because of that dumbass head coach they got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yes, somebody just texted me, and I'm looking at it. I'm fully aware that the hat's too small for my head. I mentioned that at the start of the show, and you know, it's the start of the season. You can't shake me. You can't shake me. Hold on. This is live, folks. Just want to respond. Boss Man Fat, number 9. Okay. That's what I want y'all to remember. All right. So I'm going to save the game that just came up on my screen, the 4 o'clock. I'm going to save that to last. So I'm going to save that one too. All right. Los Angeles Rams going to Seattle. Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, Pete Carroll against Geno. You heard it here first. If we could get a wide, like a close-up of me, the Seattle Seahawks will have the best receiving core in the NFL in 2023. You heard it. Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN, they are the best receiving core. They will light up the Rams today like a Christmas tree. So I will give the 6, and I will stay with the Seahawks, giving 6.
If you watch our shows, if you talk to me about football, anybody that knows how I feel about John Schneider, the GM of Seattle, they knocked the draft out the park 3 years straight.
Yeah, man.
Seattle. Oh, I don't trust Geno Smith. He's been above. One thing we have to understand in football is about fit. No matter how great a player is, just because a great player is on quote unquote, let's just say the Raiders, that don't mean he can go to the Jets and be great. It don't work like that. It's about fit and it's about coaching. One thing that I'm gonna say about Geno Smith, and I noticed it last year, he has a coach who understands his skill set. Hand the ball off, throw the ball 15 to 23 times a game. They have talent all around them. They got two great young tackles. They got running backs. They got the 3 best receivers. They probably had the best receiving corps in the league. And they got a young defense with 2 excellent young corners. I take the phrase from Coach Prime. They coming.
Oh, okay.
Seattle's coming, y'all.
Okay, you heard it. Everybody love Prime.
Seattle's going to roll.
The Wu-Tang Clan was in Boulder yesterday, so everybody love Prime.
Someone said Geno run for his life. Have you seen their tackles?
No, he ain't gonna run for his life. First of all, they got Cross at one tackle, and God, the other tackle is slipping my mind right now. But they both started as rookies last year.
Their whole draft last year became starters.
Yeah, and they added the big fella from Michigan to that offensive line this year. Geno's going to be able to eat sandwiches back there this year. Trust and believe. Okay.
So now we have just a quick tidbit, you guys. Top 5 lines in the NFL because Seattle's one of them. Detroit, Philly. I'm gonna say Seattle's 3. Dallas is probably 4 or 5, depending on health. Dallas will be 4 with health. Look, Dallas will be 4 with health, but 29th without health.
Yeah, not tonight. They ain't 4 tonight.
And another line, don't sleep on, for you guys, is Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now you got one of those classic NFL matchups. You got the Green Bay Packers, led by Jordan Love in his first professional start. I believe it's his first professional start. Don't hold me to that. But the reins is his now. He's going up against Justin Fields and the revamped Chicago Bears. This is basically a pick'em game. It's 1.5 for the Bears. Watson is out for the Packers. Hey, man, give me the Bears. Give me Justin Fields and the Bears. DJ Moore to have a big game today at home. I like the Bears in a close one. Like, they won't cover. The Packers, well, you know what? 1.5, they will. They will cover. I think the Bears win by 3 today.
One thing that's tricky about Chicago, and Dwayne and myself doing it, is that we love Chicago's head coach, Eberflus. But one thing I'm going to say about Chicago, if they get their offense together and coaching in that wind. See, the thing is, everybody wants these Chicago quarterbacks. You noticed it with Cutler. Everybody wants these quarterbacks to be able to throw the ball over the field. It has a bad wind issue because it's Chicago. So you want your quarterback to throw 15 to 23 times a game. That is optimum for coaching in bad weather. He's a runner as well. They have 2 excellent receivers with him now that can grow with Claypool and DJ Moore. So I think Chicago could be very interesting, but I also think if their offense don't get it together, they could struggle all year. I would pick Chicago. The Packers, they're going to struggle the next couple years, but they're going to be all right going forward.
Okay. And so the 4:00 game that I waited for, and I got to be honest, man. Yeah, that is major, Michael. That's major. Him being out is major because who's Jordan Love throwing to? Remember they lost Lazard. They lost. I mean,
Aaron Jones might touch the ball 40 times,
well, I don't
passing and
know. I don't
receiving.
know. And they got a little bit of issues on that offensive line, but yeah, I like the Bears in a close one. All right, so this one is the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles traveling to New England, Foxborough, Gillette Stadium to take on the genius Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. I'm surprised that the Eagles are only a 3.5 point road favorite. I mean, Vegas is usually right on the mark. Um, I've never been a believer of Mac Jones. If you follow me and Quentin, I've been saying this from day one. I think he's the worst of the Alabama quarterbacks. And you're talking about Tua, you're talking about Jalen Hurts, now you're talking about Bryce Young. I think Mac Jones is the worst out of all of them. I do. Um, my boy Zeke going today wearing number 15. And just so you know, just because he ain't a Dallas Cowboy fan, running back no more, I will always be a Zeke Elliott fan, except for week 4 this week when they play against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take the Eagles because everybody's telling me Jalen Hurts is the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to see if the book is out on Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Vegas will know later. But I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles because, as I said at the beginning of this show, you see I got the NFL hat on. I got the football shirt on, right? So we're unbiased here, man. You know, we're unbiased. So we
It's
want to
always
do real.
it's always interesting when we do shows. A lot of the fans that our fan base goes against always chime in thinking that we're going to pick against their team. I think I understand why the spread is so low, and the reason why is because Belichick and young quarterbacks. However, what I think Belichick wants to do from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint will play directly into the hands of what the Eagles are going to do. We all know traditionally the Eagles with this massive line, great line, they love to establish their supremacy at the line of scrimmage. But I think the Eagles this particular game are going to open it up for Jalen Hurts a little bit and let him cook from a passing aspect because that's where New England it will struggle. And I think that the Eagles can blow them out. I mean, blow them out bad because New England on offense, what they're going to try to do is run the football and basically run that clock out. And you can't do that against Philly. One thing you have to do against Philly is you better score some points because they're going to score it. Look for this game. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. One thing I learned about rooting for a team that the Eagles particularly don't like, because me and Dwayne are both Cowboy fans, but me living in Pennsylvania, I get to see a lot of Eagle games, and Dwayne living basically on the borderline of Northeast and Southeast Jersey, where he sees the hold on, Wayne, where he sees the games. No. One more, hold on, Wayne. I'm gonna say this about Philly. You got to score points because one thing that Philly will do, and this goes back to Andy Reid when he coached, the first quarter, they will jump on your hammies. And if you're not prepared for what they institute in that first quarter, they're going to blow you out. And then by the third and fourth quarter, they're going to be resting players. So if you keep it close, you got a chance, but you got to score points and don't allow the Eagles to jump on you early. So I'm gonna pick Philly in a blowout. Philly in a blowout.
It's not going to be close. Listen, I work in Philly country, man. My job is 30 minutes from Philly, surrounded by Eagle fans every day. And listen, I love ball, man, so I'll talk ball with anybody. I'm not going to disrespect Howie Roseman and the job he's done. Nick Sirianni, job he's done. I will be, from a football purist standpoint, interested to see what they do with a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. That still matters. But I think the Eagles right now they're the best team in the NFC. I said it.
And we did, and one thing we did, and I kill my brother. That's Michael Bailey. Me and Dwayne had a conversation. I kill over the NFC East schedule, and I'm gonna say this on record right now. The Eagles got to get off to 5-0 or 4-1 start, because after that fifth game, it's an onslaught.
But listen, it's not just about
schedule in the NFC East is going to be interesting. So it's going to be tough. So whoever wins that division and is healthy at the end of the year,
man. And listen, it's not just about the Eagles, man. I want people to look at the NFC East, man. They got to play against the AFC East and they got to play against the NFC West. Okay, so all that Cowboys being 12-5, the Giants went what 10-7 or something like that last year. We know what the Eagles did. It's going to be very hard for the NFC East to duplicate those regular season records with the schedule that's out there. But you respect the champion until you beat the champion. And the Eagles are the champions in the NFC. And they're the champions of the NFC East. So I'm giving them their due credit and their due deserve. Still a Cowboy fan. Let's not get it twisted. All right. So then, we get to the 8:20 game, the game that everybody likes to watch, And like I said, man, we on this network try to be non-biased, right? But the hell with all that. Y'all been talking about my quarterback every damn day on all these networks. And Dak, I trust. Damn it. Let's go. It starts tonight at MetLife. My quarterback is 10-0 against these bum-ass Giants since 2017. It continues tonight. Give them bums the 3. We win tonight, Cowboys. I don't care if it's a rout. I don't care if it's a damn half a point. We win tonight. Let's go down.
Tonight. I'm gonna just say that if you love pass rush, this is a good game to watch pass rush. One thing I noticed about the NFC East, and I'll go back to it, is it's all going to be about line play on the offense and defensive lines on all 4 teams. The Giants have an excellent front four. The Cowboys have basically a Pro Bowl at every level on their defense. And I think that the Cowboys will take the Giants. I just don't think the Giants have enough offensively right now to beat the Cowboys. The receivers are young. So it's going to be interesting. Wink Martindale, everybody likes to give Wink Martindale a bunch of credit because he was Buffalo's defensive coordinator, not realizing that he was one of Buffalo's defensive coordinators in the last 25 years. So don't think like he's been there this whole time.
Oh, Wink Martindale was in Baltimore with the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean Baltimore. But everybody gives him the Baltimore prestige, like he's won a Super Bowl in Baltimore. He was the coordinator. I'm going to say this. The Giants got 2 rookie cornerbacks starting against 2 Dallas's receivers.
Well, I think Adoree Jackson is out there tonight.
Adoree would be playing in the slot.
But here's the thing, right, man? And, I said I'm going to be unbiased, but let me put my football fan thing back on. I'm not making excuses for nothing. You got to go in there. You got to win. A little beat up on the offensive line. Our starting left guard, Tyler Smith, is still listed as doubtful. Tyron Smith, who's an injury waiting to happen every season, he misses at least 4 games. He's questionable. So when you're going up against Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence and Thibodeau, there are no slouches over there. That defensive line, that Giant front 7, they get after you. Now they got Boogie Basham on their team. And a very underrated addition for the New York Giants is Isaiah Simmons, who I loved coming out of college, wasn't utilized properly. He's a tweener. You don't know if he's a linebacker. You don't know if he's a safety. I think Wink Martindale will use him. Listen, Danny Dimes have to prove it to me. I'm looking forward to see how. Hey, listen, we was a sieve against the run last year, the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm looking to see how a healthy Hankins and the rookie, my Michigan brother, Mozzie Smith, I'm looking to see how he is. But let me tell y'all something. Today, tomorrow, and in February, it's all on Rain Dakota Prescott. This Cowboy team is only going as far as 4 takes them. And so for the rest of the NFL, that means we ain't going nowhere, right? Because y'all all hate on Dak. And I get it. I got Cowboy fans that hate on Dak. Give me Mississippi State Dak. If you've been watching me for years, you know what that means. I loved them then. I love them now. And Dak, I trust.
Well, that'll conclude our show for today. Dwayne, do you want to do Monday's game real quick?
It don't matter.
We don't gotta do Monday's game. We'll do a show before Monday. With that, you guys, appreciate everybody for joining the show. And like Dwayne said, if you find yourself having a gambling problem, get the help you need.
Get the help you get, and don't drink and drive, man. I know there's a lot of football parties that's going on today. Eat, drink, and be merry, but don't be a glutton. Don't eat too many wings, man. You're gonna get that heart.
Yeah, Akil, we might be back on between 7 and 8. Akil, just to wrap up this week's game and talk about the Cowboy game a little bit more. But one thing that we're gonna do, I want to say, you guys, and I've been wanting to say this for a while. Don't fall for this myth called the boneless wing. It's nothing but chicken parts cut up.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's no such thing as a boneless wing.
Listen,
enjoy your day. Eat a lot of
wings,
a lot of pizza.
We can't. You know what? We can't leave you without talking about Monday night. We can't. You got the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen led Buffalo Bills, coming in against from what a lot of people is telling me, man, like the preseason Super Bowl champion New York Jets, led by Aaron Rodgers. You know, hey, man, he was 12. Can't take Broadway Joe's number. He's now California Aaron, wearing number 8 like he did when he was a Golden Bear. Yeah, y'all watch some college football. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, Jets getting 2.5. I'm rocking with the Jets, Jets. I think Dalvin Cook has a big game to help Aaron Rodgers out. I think Aaron, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks out of Aaron Rodgers.
2 picks?
2 picks.
I'm gonna say this about this game. This game is interesting from a point of Buffalo's defense without Von Miller and the Jets' offensive line. I think if everybody was healthy, I would pick Buffalo without a doubt. I think this is a very, very interesting game. I think the Jets have put the bullseye on their back. They've done a lot of talking. Their defense did a lot of talking, a lot of gloating, talking about if they had a better quarterback, they'll win. It changes from year to year. I mean, I know Quan Alexander wasn't the greatest player on their team, but he was a good player, and he's not there no more. And all it takes is you to miss 1 or 2 guys from a defense from 1 year or offense from 1 year for y'all to change. Chemistry cannot be forced. Buffalo is interesting because you got hit and miss with this quarterback. He can go out there and throw 500 yards, or he can go out there and throw 4 picks. But one thing about Josh Allen, he's going to throw that thing. And I'm interested to see how these tackles hold up. Me and Dwayne both are big Mekhi Becton fans, but he has been an utter disappointment since he's been in the NFL. We love the Jets' offensive line from a player standpoint, but they haven't done anything. Their offensive line is – I don't know why the Jets' offensive line is so bad, because they got players. But I'm going to pick the Jets because they're the home team. I think it's going to be interesting. But, Dwayne, I want to ask you a question real quick before we close out.
We ain't got to go nowhere.
No. We're going to close out.
We ain't got to go nowhere.
I have to get the coffee going, Dwayne.
We still 15 minutes to kick off. The NFL is back. Hey man, holla at your boy. If you a fan, this is what we've been waiting for, man. Everybody today is a
I need a
Super
cup of
Bowl champ. You
of
don't
Joe real
need
quick.
that. You don't need that.
Let me ask you a question, Dwayne. It's a team that me and you've been on for like 3 years because we love the coach. He coached with Parcells, played under Parcells. He basically was groomed by the Jeff Irelands, the Michael Tannenbaums, and that's the attitude and the coaching style up in Detroit. Mayhew's the GM. Now they got Aaron Glenn's been there. Me and you know what they're building up in Detroit and that great offensive line. And I'm gonna say great, you guys, because I'm gonna tell you guys something.
Credit. It's not
I know Ragnall. Oh, it's not Mayhew. Mayhew's in Chicago. Why I get them mixed up? It's Aaron Pace.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
Pace.
know.
It's Pace,
no, it's
right?
not Pace. Pace is in Chicago.
Oh, I'm all jacked up.
No, it's the gentleman that came from the
North Carolina State guy, right?
No, he came from the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, and now he's in charge of the Lions, and that's one Brad Holmes.
My bad.
Holmes
Holmes, I apologize.
He's building something, and listen, he believes in Jared Goff, man.
Dwayne, one thing I have to say, and I know everybody will say the second best center after Kelsey is Ragnall. But I'm going to tell folks, I know he plays right tackle. Penny Sewell is a problem, y'all.
Been a problem since he was at Oregon.
Penny Sewell. Listen. One thing about us and Craig, that's our brother who really don't do a lot of shows with us, but he makes the guest appearance. Dwayne is cornerback. Craig is line play. I particularly am a little bit different. Because these guys I consider specialists when it comes to football. I love Detroit's line. And everybody's going to goo and gash over Jamar Gibbs. Let's get one thing straight, you guys. He was in the backfield with Bijan Robinson. They know what they're doing. So spending time with Montgomery.
No. They weren't in the backfield together. Bijan Robinson was at Texas. Gibbs was at Alabama.
He was in the backfield with with the other kid. Yeah. So he understands split. Damn, I'm all jacked up.
It's all right. We didn't have.
He understands splitting time and not getting the load.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody fool you guys. Detroit's win was big. It wasn't the end of the world for Kansas City. It was big for Detroit and their franchise and what they're trying to do. And I'm gonna just say this right now, and I'm gonna say it may be a trade during the season. Don't be surprised if Detroit makes a play for Mike Evans.
Yeah, give Chris Jones his money, okay? Travis Kelce, I want to be careful. You know, everybody say he's the greatest tight end of all time. I'm not ready to say that. It's been some great tight ends. Club Shay Shay is a Hall of Famer, y'all. He's a Hall of Famer. He got a lot of rings. Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp. Kellen Winslow is probably the greatest tight end I ever seen, but I'm taking it back. You know, I know a lot of y'all didn't think football started until like 1996, just like hip hop. You're wrong. There was hip hop before 96, and there was an NFL football league before 1996. This is true. This is all factual. You know, do a little research. But I'm happy because this game that I love is back, man. And everybody got a chance. Everybody got a chance. Hell, the Super Bowl champions is 0-1 right now. So everybody got a chance, man. Love this game. Hey, shout out to my boy, the playmaker, Michael Irvin. He's back. He's back on NFL Network where he belongs. It's good to see him. It's good to see him spew all his cowboy love. And, hey, man, we back, man. We back.
With that.
Share, subscribe, man. Stick with us, man. I met a new friend today. I'm going to call him Michael Bailey. You know, Quentin know him a little bit more personally. But come back. We may just be back later, Mike. We may just be back.
Later, you guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the like button if you're on Facebook. Until then, take care and have a great night.
Please, Dak, please.